What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 92. We start today's stuff by seeing that Sober is indeed banned for a game after his red card in the last game out defeat to Real Madrid in the Super Copa. And also a massive bid for Moise Kean as well. Bayern Munich put in a £105.3 million for our second highest scorer this season, but of course we said no, the Italian is staying right here. And of course he already sold quite a few players since this January window, including Raheem Sterling going to Bayern Munich. Obviously, we also sold Botman as well. We've got a decent amount of money in the budget right now, £200 million. So there really isn't any need to cash in on anyone else. I think for now, £200 million is totally fine, and we will definitely be reinvesting that money into some new signings as well. I don't know whether we're going to pick up like a star player in this January window, because to be honest here, with our star-studded lineup and our strong bench as well, we really don't need one. So I'm starting to think what we could do is just bring in like one or two squad players maybe for depth, for cover, and then save most of that money and have a monster budget for next season's summer transfer. I'm not entirely sure just yet. For the first game, obviously still was Malaga here, back to matters in La Liga again, getting knocked out of the Super Copa by Real Madrid. Obviously I mentioned it, cup specialist in this save. First cup competition, first cup game with Barcelona, we lose to our rivals. Not really going to fill the home fans with much confidence. So taking on Malaga back in La Liga, one thing that is giving the home fans confidence is that right now we just cannot stop scoring. League's highest scorers by far, and still top of the table and still haven't lost since match day one. So hence this game felt very confident indeed. Took lead very early on for Ansu Fati, doubled it and made it 2-0. And then 8 minutes after the restart, a chance to make it 3. Fati with a nice skill moves here. Wasn't really sure where I was going, but picked out De Jong. Lovely little 1-2 between the pair once Ansu went through 1-on-1. Again, I don't really know why I was doing so many skill moves with Fati during this move here. Wasn't really necessary, but did look pretty cool. Fati with a double step over and then the simple finish as well for a second of the game as we went 3-0 up here on Malaga, and there was 7 minutes to go. Looking for a fourth, and again, I want to keep on scoring as many goals as possible. I knew heading into this season we would most likely be the top scorers in the league. I couldn't see anyone getting close to us, and with the front three we've got, Dembele on the right with that 5-star weak foot, Fati on the left, the top scorer in La Liga. And then you add in this guy spearheading our attack, Moise Kean. Well, this is why we said to Bayern Munich, thanks for the offer, but don't bother, lads, man. This guy is too good. The front three all scoring in this game. Fati with a brace, one for Kean and one for Dembele as well. In a big thumping 4-0 victory there against Malaga. And, I mentioned before, like, defending with this team, as we see that finally, can you believe it? Thiago Moraes is going to go to Aston Villa. Defending with this team was going to be quite a difficult challenge for me, but I knew that scoring goals would be easy, and it really has been easy so far, tearing teams apart left, right and centre. And again, it's not a surprise based on how good our attacking pieces are, but still following that, I decided to make my first sign in the January window, and it was only it was only £8 million out of the 200 million, so our bank balance will go down to just over 190 million. His name is Barry Paytuvi, but we'll call him Jesus. He is a 19-year-old, 74 rated Spanish goalkeeper, and I think you know whose regen it is. Yep, David De Gea's regen at Old Trafford, and we just had to bring him in. And for £8 million, well, absolute steal. This guy's got the exciting prospect tag. He's already got 85 kicking and 86 reflexes, just 19 years old and 74 overall. The only reason why he's so lowly rated, despite the fantastic stats there, because his positioning, or I should say, it's because his positioning is so low. Positioning is only 57. Which is bizarre, really. Like, his goalkeeping stats in particular are just very, very good. The kicking reflexes and the diving and handling is really good as well. But the positioning is, like, ridiculously weak. So what we're going to do is train it up as quickly as we can, and we'll see this guy grow very quickly indeed. Once the positioning gets close to 70 and above, this guy is going to be developing like crazy. So yeah, Jesus in from Manchester United, David De Gea's regen signs, and he looks absolutely brilliant. And of course, for the backup goalkeeper position right now, our current bench warmer is out of contract at the end of the season, and I mentioned it. I'm probably going to let him go on a free transfer, so I think Jesus is going to come in despite being free ratings lower. He'll be our second choice behind Ter Stegen. He'll start the games in the cup, like this one here in our first Copa del Rey trip away from home. And yeah, I think this guy's going to grow really, really quickly. And maybe, just maybe, as the years go by, give Ter Stegen some competition. But yeah, 42nd game of today's episode. Jesus would make his debut in this one. Really excited again to get that position trained up and watch his growth be just so quick when that positioning stat gets to a decent ability. Yeah, going away from home here against the Segunda side in the Copa del Rey round of 32. Now, I made 11 changes to my team for the game, with a game in La Liga on the weekend and coming on the back of a big win against Malaga as well. I thought this was going to be a rollover. Like, I thought, based on how well we've been playing, based on the fact we've been scoring goals left, right and centre, I thought we were just going to tear these guys apart on my B team and it was going to be a routine victory to the next round. Goodness gracious me, how wrong I was, and you have to say fair play. Castellon, who I believe actually got relegated from the Segunda Division in real life last season, I mean, they gave me a fight, I'll say that much. We got Deportivo Alaves in around the 16 away from home. They're now a Segunda Division side in the game as well. But they gave me a fight, man. Like, seriously, we had to score the winner for a rebound goal from Francisco Trincao. That's not embarrassing, but it's an escape. I'll be the first to admit it. I mean, seriously, and I mentioned before, like, sometimes in FIFA CM, like, the hardest games can be the ones that should on paper be the easiest. And I've mentioned this before, I really do feel it's sometimes that maybe it's kind of coded into the game, possibly to try and, you know, counteract what could be, you know, the severe mismatch in terms of ability, to try and, you know, punish you for complacency or overconfidence. I'm not entirely sure. But, you know, oftentimes, like, the bigger games, the biggest of games, sometimes you can have, like, routine victories against the top teams, and then against the sides that are right down the bottom of the table in a league game, or, like I said, there, a cup game against a lower league side. Sometimes it can be really tricky to get things going. So, a big escape there in a 2-1 victory, but through to the last 16. And again, this season, the board has said win the treble. Well, at the moment, we're looking at the favourites in La Liga. There's no doubt about that. And for our third game of today's episode, looking to prove that as well. Getafe here at Nou Camp took the lead in the first half, then just past the hour mark once again. It's Dembele who makes it 2-0. And, you know, as we always say, you know, Fati is like the star of this team. I've always got like one star of this team. There's a right-hand man. Fati's the star. Keane's the right-hand man. And then there's the third man option. And that third man would be Pedro Porro. As we talked about, I love the guy to pieces. But Dembele, man, like, seriously, to have this guy as like our fourth best player on the offensive end at the moment, that just shows you the quality we've got at our disposal. So when we're taking on these sides and thrashing them with ease, it's not one bit surprising. It's to be expected, because our attack is just literally, probably, potentially the best in the game at the moment. It's definitely up there though. There's no doubt about that. Dembele bagging a brace. Moise Keane got one as well. And at the moment, this front three is just literally unstoppable, and it's so great as well. Like, obviously we bought back Fati from Manchester City in the summer, spent 170 million on him, and he's not let me down one bit. I mean, obviously the guy's been incredible, now up to 91 overall, top scorer in La Liga, and averaging just under a goal per game. But to know that Dembele was already here, as we know, Moise Keane was signed, I don't know what season it was, you know, to come in. It's kind of like when we joined Arsenal and Luis Suarez was already there at Arsenal. I didn't need to bring in a striker, we already had one. Same here with Barcelona, Keane is already here, and then Dembele is here as well. So for all the signings we've made this season, can't forget about the guys that have already been here and been just as impactful in the cases of Keane and Dembele as well. And so for the fourth and final game of today's episode, Copa del Rey, round of 16. Again, then our Segunda Division side, Deportivo Alaves, away from home. Started off the game and I thought, right, unlike in the last round, I'm going to be on the front foot and on the offensive from the very first whistle, and I don't want a lucky escape towards the end. So hit the bar very early on through Tammy Abrahams. It was still 0-0, but now with 8 minutes to go in the first half, Mikel Oyarzabal. How amazing is this to have a player like Oyarzabal off the bench? Makes it 1-0 as he got the start in this game, gave us the lead, and then right before the break, Tammy Abraham. Talking about players off the bench, the majority of his goals this season have come from the bench, but gave him a start in this game, and this guy's goal to game ratio, man, is as impressive as it gets. And that's all you want for your backup striker, you know, just don't complain, but when you play them, get the job done with them. That's what Tammy Abraham's doing in this team. And then 8 minutes after the restart, a chance to make it 3. Don't ask me what happened here. Lovely through ball to find Mariba. Quick little offload to Oyarzabal. Surely his second of the game, but instead somehow managed to blaze it way off target as it was still 2-0. But really, we weren't in any danger of losing this game or having a struggle, unlike in the last round. We're in complete control from start to finish, and then 24 minutes remaining. Just had to put a bit of style on this one there. Juan Martinez off the bench. The kid with the potential to be special that we signed in the summer transfer window makes it 3-0 with a lovely, delicate little chip there as we are into the Copa del Rey quarter-final. So the treble remains on for now. Whilst we might have lost the Super Cup, we don't mind too much about that. There's 18 games to go in La Liga, 56 goals in 20 games, and most importantly, 51 points on the board, 4 points clear at the top. We do look like the favourites so far for La Liga, and hopefully the Copa del Rey and the Champions League. I want a treble this season, couldn't do it last year, let's do it this year. Have a great day guys, much love to you all, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career Mode very soon.